As kids, we know that magical creatures exist. But as we grow old, we convince ourselves that they are not. Because we can't see them. Because it's more convenient to pretend they are not real. I was the same. Until one day, I found an old book. Inside was a message. For those who wish for adventure, find all the creatures, finish the book. Only then will you return home. Next thing I knew, the ground below me gave out and I fell into a portal to a magical world where danger is the main attraction. Guess I better start completing this book.
Good evening everybody, my name is Bestiary and welcome to another mod showcase. Today we're looking at the Ice and Fire mod. Finally! After all this time that you guys have been asking me, I finally decided and I finally had some time to check it out. And it is awesome! This is a 1.20.1 Forge mod that adds magical creatures from myths and legends into Minecraft. This mod was created by Raptorfarian and Alexthe666. Thank you guys, this is awesome. First things first, since you're gonna need some help in this mod, you're gonna wanna craft an in-game guide to the mod called the Bestiary. Here it is. To craft the Bestiary, you just need 3 manuscripts and put them in a crafting table like this, even in your hand, and you will get the Bestiary. If you want to expand the Bestiary, because it won't be complete of course, the Bestiary will hold all the information from the creatures, but it won't be complete as soon as you craft it. You will have to add more manuscripts to it. In order to add more manuscripts, you will need to create a Bestiary Lectern that you can craft with any type of plank and a manuscript on top. And with the Bestiary Lectern and the Bestiary, you will need 78 other manuscripts in order to complete the Bestiary in its entirety. Here we got the Bestiary with the introduction and all the information on silver and other stuff that you can find in this mod and how to craft stuff. And if we place the Bestiary in the Lectern with this, you can see what type of creature you want to learn more about. The Bestiary will get information on, let's say I want more information on ghosts and Cyclops. Well, right now I'm in creative, so they are not going down, but yes. Let's see if it worked. Yeah, ghosts and Cyclops. We'll check them out later. Oh, look! It's a magical creature that we're gonna talk about later. But for now, let's start by saying the obvious. This mod's main attraction, of course, is the dragons. But let's first look at the other creatures that you will encounter in your journey through this new land. And what to do if you find yourself in front of them. We'll use the Bestiary and my adventure journal to see just what I discovered. The Pixies. Pixies can be found in pixie villages, small settlements made up of tiny mushroom houses that can be found throughout the land. They are very tiny female humanoid creatures with butterfly-like wings that allow them to fly. They also glow and give off colorful dust particles. The color they glow with depends on the effect they give to creatures they consider friends. Let's see what I discovered about their colors.
Pink pixies were the first to show me their abilities. As I was talking with them, the small village was attacked by a horde of zombies. I decided to fight them, but I was certain they would overwhelm me before the pixies could escape. Suddenly though, I felt my sword was much lighter and that my swings caused more damage than before. It seems pink pixies have the power to increase your muscle mass, making you much stronger in combat. After that, purple pixies wanted to take me to the top of a mountain to help me get a better lay of the land. But since I couldn't fly like them, climbing would take longer than I wished. However, the purple pixies told me to jump up the mountain. I wasn't so sure at first, but when I took that first jump, I was surprised at how light I felt. I had easily jumped up a steep wall in an instant. It seems purple pixies give a power reserve to your leg muscles that can be quickly released as you jump. The blue pixies were next. They decided to give me a tour of the forest around their village. Immediately I felt myself running faster than ever. It seems blue pixies give a similar power reserve for your legs, but instead of using it in bursts of energy to jump, the energy enhances your leg muscles, making you much faster while running. One afternoon, the yellow pixies insisted that I went mining with them to show their power. While skeptical at first, I quickly found that my pickaxe was much lighter and that I wasn't getting tired while hitting the ores. This power boost enveloped my arms, and I have never gotten that many resources from a mine that quickly in my life. Green pixies were more difficult to decipher. While at first I didn't feel a difference, I discovered that every decision I made would end in my favor, and that seemingly random events would always help me in some way. They explained that their power was to affect the universe's causality to help their friends, commonly referred to as luck.
Now, you gotta be careful with pixies because they are little pranksters and they will steal a stackable item from your inventory, like that, and give you a status effect, a detrimental status effect. If you want to befriend pixies, then you will need cake. You'll need to throw a cake into the pixie and they need to accept it. And as you can see, she has one of the items that she stole, which is a fairy spawn egg. She stole it from my inventory. You can get it back if you just lightly hit them. Try not to hit them, try to hit like the thing they have in their hand. It's a little difficult, but there we go. If any of the mod developers are watching, which maybe not, but if you are, make it so that you have to right click them with a cake, because following them around and throwing a cake is not really working. There we go. Ah, finally. Okay, so now she is my friend, she's my pixie. And she will give me jump boost. And if I right click her, then she will sit. Just in case you don't want them following you around forever, just in case they die, you can just right click them like that. If your pixie friend gets damaged, you can feed them sugar to heal. You can also catch pixies in jars to farm pixie dust from them. Once trapped, you can place the jar down, the pixie inside will sit, and then they'll start producing pixie dust. Just FYI, you cannot catch your own pixie in a jar. If you break the jar, the pixie will get released. With pixie dust, you will get the levitation, glowing, and luck effects for a few seconds after eating some. With pixie dust, you can craft Ambrosia. You just need one pixie dust and one bowl. Like so. Which gives Jump Boost 3, Absorption 3, Luck 3, and Strength 3 for 3 minutes. All 3s. If you kill a pixie, they will drop pixie dust, and there is a chance that they will drop the pixie wings, which can be used to craft the Pixie Staff with a diamond and a blaze rod. The Pixie Staff will consume pixie dust to shoot at enemies. While it doesn't do a lot of damage, it will lift them in the air. The Hippocampus. Hippocampuses, or Hippocampi, are sea creatures with the body of a horse and the scales, fins, and tails of a fish. They can be found swimming in the ocean. They are docile creatures that will never attack you, even if you attack them. While slow and awkward in land, they are extremely fast underwater. In order to tame a hippocampus, you will need kelp. Once tamed, they will continue to move around, so make sure to use a stick, kelp, a lead, or a safe enclosure so that it does not swim away. A tamed hippocampus can equip a saddle so that you can ride it, a chest so that it can get a small inventory, and you can also give them horse armor to protect themselves. If you want to breed hippocampi, you can use prismarine crystals. Hippocampi are faster than boats and sea serpents, so keep that in mind. If you kill a hippocampus, you will get the shiny scales, and there is a chance that you will get a hippocampus fin. These shiny scales can be used to craft Tide Guardian armor, which allows you to breathe underwater and makes you stronger when wet. Although you will also need to get 20 sea serpent scales, but more on that later. The hippocampus fin can be crafted into the mighty hippocampus slapper, which applies nausea and slowness to whoever is struck by it. Also, according to the adventure journal, there is a legend of a color-changing hippocampus called the Rainbow. The Hippogriff. Hippogriffs are creatures with the body, tail, and back legs of a horse, the head and wings of an eagle, and eagle's talons and its front feet. They live in mountains and deserts. They are generally peaceful and will not attack you unless provoked. Just a quick heads up, it seems like hippogriffs are a little glitchy in this version. So sometimes they will try to fly into the sky and just kinda dance up there. To tame a hippogriff, you will need rabbit feet. You need to drop them near a hippogriff and wait until they decide to be tamed. Once tamed, they will sit down, so that's your chance. They can then be saddled, equip chests to get an inventory, and you can even give them hippogriff armor. You can craft it by adding feathers at both sides of a horse armor. While riding a hippogriff, you can use WASD to control your movement, spacebar to make your hippogriff rise into the air, and X to lower them, Shift to dismount, and G to use a hippogriff attack. To breed hippogriffs, you need rabbits too. Then they will drop an egg and you can throw it to hatch a baby hippogriff. Ah, the name. If you kill a hippogriff, they will drop feathers, pieces of leather, hippogriff talons, or hippogriff skulls. The talons can be used to craft a hippogriff talon sword with a hippogriff talon, 2 feathers, a piece of iron, and a stick. The hippogriff skull is number 1 of 9 creature skulls you can collect in this mod. It's used as decoration mostly, but, well, you can collect them. The Amphithere. Amphitheres are large, colorful reptiles that possess the general look of a snake, with a serpentine physique, a noticeable lack of walking legs, a moderately long neck, a large head with big, toothy jaws, and a long tail. You can find amphitheres flying around jungle biomes. For such big and dangerous looking creatures, they are actually kinda skittish. However, they are formidable opponents, and for some reason they will always protect villagers. To tame them, you will first need to catch them. Now, this would be easy if they weren't one of the fastest moving mobs on this mod, so yeah, the hard part of taming them will be getting them down from the sky. This can be done by hitting them with a projectile. After they go down, you will need to mount them. While on top of them, they will attempt to throw you off. They will fly around and try to throw you off. They will also turn its head and try to bite you. Try using a shield to nullify the damage. This is probably the easiest way to avoid dying from that. Once the Amphithere is tamed, it can be ordered to either follow you, wander around, or sit by interacting with them with an empty hand while sneaking. You can also heal your Amphithere with cocoa beans. In order to breed Amphitheres, you can feed them cookies. Yep, cookies. Just straight up cookies. Once you mount your Amphithere, you will begin to fly. However, unlike other flying mobs, Amphitheres are controlled similarly to a perpetually firepower boosted Elytra, so yeah, keep that in mind. If you kill an Amphithere, they will drop Amphithere feathers and Amphithere skulls. The Amphithere skull is number 2 of 9 skulls you can collect. The Amphithere feathers can be used to craft Amphithere arrows, which knocks back enemies with the power of an Amphithere's wings. The crafting recipe is the same as vanilla arrows, just change the feather. You can also use the Amphithere's feather to craft an Amphithere's maquahuitl. You can craft it with a stick, 2 wood planks of any type, 4 obsidian, and Amphithere feathers. The Amphithere's maquahuitl will knock back your target up and back, and it will also disable shields. The Sirens. When you first encounter them, the Sirens will look like humanoid creatures with the tail of a fish and the upper body of a gorgeous woman. In this form, they are known as mermaids. However, when they attack you, they will share their disguise and show their true form, a terrible monstrosity with scaly skin, glowing cloudy eyes, shaggy tainted hair, and jagged teeth. In this form, they are known as Nagas. Now, Sirens will spawn on top of Siren Islands in ocean biomes. If you get within the sight radius of a Siren, they will begin to sing. Your screen will turn pink. You will be embellished by hallucinations of mermaids and hearts, and you will start to uncontrollably gravitate toward the Siren. Upon successfully luring you close to them, the Siren will enter its Naga form, and its charming songs will be replaced by eerie shrieks and hisses. It will then proceed to jump off its rocky line and start swimming after you before attacking. You can stop the effects of their song by actually wearing earplugs. You can craft them with a couple of wood planks. Once killed, the Sirens will drop shiny scales, prismarine shards, prismarine crystals, and siren tears. The siren tears are used to craft the siren flute, which will make most nearby mobs temporarily fall in love with you and become passive for 10 seconds. To craft the flute, you will need 7 shiny scales, 1 siren tear, and a dragon bone flute, crafted with an iron ingot and 2 dragon bones. The dragon bone flute is used to make any of your tamed dragons, amphitheres, and hippogriffs stop flying and fall down. The Deathworm. Deathworms are giant creatures with bodies covered in armor, a row of spines running down their sides, and a large mouth with razor-sharp teeth. They also have a retractable tongue ending in a serrated beak, kinda like an alien. Deathworms are found burrowing through deserts looking for prey. They are super hostile and will attack anything that comes into their territory, even dragons. Deathworms attack by burrowing through the sand and then lounging at their prey from beneath. While you can find deathworms of all sizes, it is said that if they grow enough, they will turn into the legendary creature, the giant deathworm. After you kill them, the deathworms will drop deathworm chitin, rotten flesh, deathworm eggs, and deathworm tongues. You can use the chitin to craft armor or the deathworm gauntlet. The armor you craft is crafted like any other vanilla armor, and it varies in color depending on the color of the chitin you use. The deathworm gauntlet is crafted with 5 deathworm chitins, an iron chain, and a deathworm tongue. The gauntlet lashes at its targets with its tongue for 3 damage and pulls the targets to you. Now, while wild deathworms are not tameable at all, there is a way to get your very own deathworm. If you throw a deathworm egg, it will hatch into your very own baby deathworm. The baby will patrol the area it spawned in within a 50 block radius. It can all be told to sit or follow you, and it will not come to defend you if you are under attack. That said, it will also not attack you or any nearby animals. It will only hunt monsters that come within its hunting grounds. Your baby deathworm will steadily grow, although it might take some time to reach adulthood. The Cockatrice. The Cockatrice is a terrifying creature with the body of a chicken, the teeth and tail of a lizard, a hooked beak, and clawed, scaly hands. They live near savanna biomes and are found in packs of 4 cockatrices. They are hostile against you or any other creature that preys upon chickens. The cockatrice attacks by looking at you with their nightmare eyes. If you look at them, they will inflict nausea, slowness, and wither for as long as your eyes meet. You can use a blindfold to stop this attack. You can craft a blindfold with 2 string and a leather. However, make no mistake, this will not stop the cockatrice's attack. Once they realize you are immune to their nightmare stare, they will charge at you and attack you the old-fashioned way, by kicking the shit out of you. If you want to tame a cockatrice, you will have to survive a deathly staring contest. Eventually, the cockatrice will be intimidated by your staring ability and bow to your superiority. Once the cockatrice is tamed, it can be ordered to either follow you, patrol the area they are within a 50 block radius, freely wander around, or sit by interacting with them with an empty hand. It will also attack mobs and players that you attack, biting and leaping when in close proximity to its target and using its withering eye beam when further distance away. Feeding a tame cockatrice seeds will heal it. You can also heal your cockatrice by feeding it rotten flesh. Like so. If you hatch a baby cockatrice from a rotten egg, it will be auto-tamed. You have to throw the egg yourself for the baby to recognize you as its parent, okay? So no cockatrice army farms, okay? Rotten eggs are acquired by having a normal chicken lay one. It's unknown how this happens, but laying the rotten eggs apparently hurts the chicken. Also, since cockatrices are hybrids, they are sterile by nature, so you can't breed them. If you kill a cockatrice, it will drop feathers, raw chicken or cooked chicken, wither bones, a cockatrice eye, and the cockatrice skull. This skull is number 3 of 9 skulls you can collect. The cockatrice eye can be used to craft the cockatrice scepter, by using a wither bone, a cockatrice eye, and a wither bone shard. The cockatrice scepter withers targets when used and can target multiple close entities. The Stymphalian bird. Stymphalian birds are big birds of prey with giant feathery wings, powerful legs with sharp talons, and a big curved beak. While not that interesting at first glance, if you look closely you will notice the Stymphalian birds have metallic defenses. Both their beaks and some of its feathers are made of a metal-like substance, closely resembling, say, bronze. The Stymphalian bird fly in flocks of up to 20 Stymphalian birds at a time and live in swampy biomes. The Stymphalian birds have great sight, so even if you can't see them yet, they will spot you from 64 blocks away. This creature is super hostile by nature and will attack you, villagers, and animals alike. The Stymphalian bird will swarm you and attack you by shooting their sharp metal feathers at you. If you manage to get past their first volley of feathers and get close enough, they will all drop down to the ground and attack you with their beaks. Once slain, the Stymphalian bird will drop Stymphalian bird feathers, iron ingots and nuggets, copper ingots and nuggets, bronze ingots and nuggets, and the Stymphalian bird skull. This skull is number 4 of 9 skulls you can collect. The Stymphalian bird feathers can be used in multiple ways. For example, you can make Stymphalian arrows with Stymphalian bird feathers, a stick, and flint. I have also heard that with the Stymphalian bird feathers, you can put them into a smelter, for example in Tinker's Construct, and it will create copper/bronze/some metal. You'll have to find out yourself. These special arrows are not affected by gravity, causing them to only fly in a straight line, making them useful, but also hard to retrieve. You can also use the Stymphalian bird feathers to craft a Stymphalian bird dagger, which attacks like a normal sword but is very quick and does 6 attack damage, equals to an iron sword, and has a whopping 3 attack speed. It can be crafted with a stick and 2 Stymphalian bird feathers. Finally, you can also use the feathers to craft the Stymphalian bird feather bundle, a one-use weapon that fires metal feathers in 8 directions around you. The weapon is crafted using 1 string and 8 Stymphalian bird feathers.
The Ghost.
Ever wonder what happens to us after death? Well, you're looking at them. Ghosts are spectral apparitions with tattered robes and no legs that fly around graveyards. They spawn during the night, or when you attempt to loot their tombs. Ghosts are hostile towards you, and also villagers. Probably jealous we're still alive. When attacking, ghosts will circle around their target before charging towards them. Just before they are about to charge, they will emit a loud scream, and a hallucination of a ghost will fly across the screen of any nearby players. Ghosts are able to fly through walls when moving about and chasing foes. They are also immune to most forms of damage, and only silver weapons or the phantasmal blade can deal damage to them. If you manage to kill a ghost that spawned from a graveyard soul, they will drop ectoplasm and phantasmal ingots. The phantasmal ingots can be used to upgrade a dragonbone sword into the ghost sword. You just need to put it into a crafting table. The ghost sword is a powerful weapon that can throw ghost blades that pass through blocks and damage mobs by left clicking. Each ghost blade deals 5 damage.
The Troll.
The trolls are large humanoid monsters with small eyes that glow in the dark, tusks on their lower jaw, and a large nose. They also use a giant weapon against you. They come in 3 different variants: forest trolls, mountain trolls, and frost trolls. Trolls spawn deep underground and will always attack you. Once a troll sees you, it will roar and come rushing at you. When attacking, trolls often strike downwards with their club, dealing massive damage with each hit. However, they are also known to do a sideways swipe with their club, dealing massive knockback to their foes. Also, little thing, the troll's thick hide means that arrows are useless against it. However, if a troll is exposed to direct sunlight, it will turn to stone. Although you won't get any drops if they turn to stone. Once killed, the troll will drop troll tusks, troll leather depending on their type, stone of any kind, sticks, bones, and the weapon that they were holding. They also have a chance to drop a troll skull. This skull is number 5 of 9 you can collect. Troll tusk and troll leather are both used to craft troll leather armor, which, of course, has great projectile protection.
The Myrmex.
Giant ant hives are a sight to see in this mod. A giant civilization of insects are what Myrmex are. As is common in Ice and Fire, these creatures will be hostile towards you, but since they are semi-intelligent, they can be reasoned with. Well, conversation with a Myrmex won't be very intellectually challenging, given that, they can't speak. You will have to default to the universal language of capitalism, but more on that later. There are two different types of Myrmex, the jungle Myrmex and the desert Myrmex. Now, Myrmex hives have a caste system that gives different abilities and jobs to the residents of the hive. The Myrmex workers. They are the lowest class in the colony but extremely essential. The workers look like a standard giant ant. Their job is to leave their hive and look for food, leaves, and more to bring back into the hive's food rooms. Sometimes they will also carry eggs, larvae, and pupae from the queen's room to the nurseries. They attack by biting their opponents and can also sting with a little poison. They are the weakest of the Myrmex. The Myrmex soldiers. They are the bodyguards of the workers, and as such, they are strong. They are similar in shape to the workers, but much bigger. They often follow the workers in scavenging missions and subdue prey to help the workers. They attack by biting and stinging their opponents, similar to the workers, but way stronger. The Myrmex sentinels. Probably the strongest members of the hive, the sentinels will guard the entrance from any unwanted guests. They look like giant scorpions with a massive stinger and many extremities to grab their enemies. Although you might not see them at first because of their camouflaging abilities. The sentinels are always vigilant. Once they spot an enemy, they are relentless and will stop at nothing to protect the hive. Their poison sting is way more deadly than any other Myrmex. They can strike with their multiple arms and will also attempt to grab you and bite you while in their grasp. You do not want to mess with them. The Myrmex Royals. One of the highest castes in the hive, the Royals are how Myrmex spread. They look like giant ants with wings and are much bigger than soldiers. They will not attack you, unless you provoke them of course. The Royals leave their hives and upon meeting another Royal, they will mate with them in the air and fall to the ground. Wherever they land, that's where the new Myrmex hive will spawn. One of the Royals will die and the other will turn into a queen. Then they will bury underground and begin to form the Myrmex hive. The Myrmex Queen, the matriarch of the hive, the highest and most beautiful of the Myrmex. According to a Myrmex poll, of course. The queen is the sole reproductive member of the hive. She will usually stay in her giant throne room and constantly lay eggs. Make no mistake though, the queen is not just a pretty face. If she feels threatened, she will not hesitate to attack. That said, if you want to eliminate a Myrmex hive, killing the queen is the best way of doing it. Without their queen, the other Myrmex will lose morale and slowly die out, the hive crumbling away around the corpse of their mother. That said, if you wish to establish a friendly relationship with a Myrmex hive, then you will need to get some resin. Depending on the type of Myrmex hive, the resin you need to give them will be different. With resin, you can increase your reputation within the hive. Your reputation will always start at 0, because Myrmex do not trust outsiders. You can start increasing your reputation by dropping resin near workers. Once your reputation gets to 25%, the hive will acknowledge you as a non-threat and will become neutral to your presence. This will make things easier to keep increasing your reputation inside the hive. Be careful. You can increase your reputation, yes, but doing things against the hive will decrease your reputation and might make the Myrmex make you public enemy number 1 in the worst case scenario. Once you reach 50% reputation, the Myrmex will consider you a potential business partner and will invite you to participate in their capitalism. The Myrmex use resin as currency, and every caste has different items to trade. Similar to villagers, the trades will vary for each individual and will improve depending on how much you trade with them. Once you raise your reputation within the hive to 75%, you will be considered an intelligent and trusted ally, and will be given the title of the Hive Overseer. This will allow you to edit the hive while using a Myrmex staff. With the Myrmex staff, you have some control over the hive. For example, you can create a room yourself and then you come and shift right click and it'll give you an option to designate like a nursery room or a misc room or the entrance to the surface or the entrance if you want to make like a underground entrance, you can also do that. It's just a way to like designate things that you build. With the power of the staff, you can even make the queen infertile. If you kill a Myrmex, they will drop Myrmex chitin, Myrmex resin chunks, and Myrmex stingers. The Myrmex chitin and stingers can be used to craft the Myrmex staff, with a Myrmex stinger, 2 wither bones, and 3 Myrmex chitins. You can also use the chitin to craft Myrmex armor, same as crafting normal armor. The Myrmex stinger can also be used to craft a Myrmex stinger sword. With a stinger, 1 witherbone, and 1 Myrmex chitin. This sword will do +4 damage to non-arthropods and deathworms. Now let me tell you a little secret. You can actually start your own Myrmex hive. To do this, you will need to trade with a Myrmex queen for a Myrmex queen egg. Once you get the egg, you can hatch it in the shadow wherever you want your Myrmex hive to be. Then your baby Myrmex queen will hatch, bond to you, and begin digging to start her hive. Since you are the parent of the queen, this hive will know you as a god, and your reputation will be a permanent 100%. Make sure to stay near the queen egg throughout her whole hatching progress and growing up process to make sure she bonds with you. Otherwise, you will be attacked by the new hive. The Sea Serpent. Sea serpents are giant water snakes that will attack anything they deem edible. That would be everything according to them. Like the name implies, the sea serpents spawn in the sea. Sea serpents have 3 main attacks. Their powerful bite for close combat, for range they can shoot a jet of boiling water, and finally they have their leap attack. If their target is riding a boat, swimming near the surface, or standing near the shore, they will let out a loud booming roar before leaping out of the water. The impact that they make upon landing deals a large amount of damage, tosses their target back a considerable distance. How powerful this attack is correlates with the serpent's size actually. And if you're on a boat, of course, it will destroy it. Once a sea serpent grows to a big enough size, they become the legendary ancient sea serpent, a massive and extremely powerful sea serpent. If you manage to kill a sea serpent, they will drop sea serpent scales, sea serpent fangs, and a sea serpent skull, number 6 of 9 skulls you can collect in this mod. With sea serpent scales, you can craft the Tide Trident, crafted with 3 sea serpent fangs, 2 sea serpent scales, a diamond, and a dragon bone. Okay, so apparently you don't need shiny scales anymore to craft the Tide Guardian armor, so shoot! Don't need you. We only need the sea serpent scales like so. We just put them like this, boom, 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 and boom. You got a full set of Tide Guardian armor. I am the Lord of the Sea! And the Tide Arrows, crafted with sea serpent fangs, a stick, and a sea serpent scale. The Tide Guardian armor allows you to breathe underwater and makes you stronger when wet, and the Tide Arrows are not hindered by water. The Gorgon is a beautiful female humanoid with snake for hair, gorgeous yellow eyes, and the giant tail of a snake. They spawn inside Gorgon temples near beach biomes and will kill anything with their one-shot petrifying gaze. Be extremely careful while dealing with Gorgons, as one look with their beautiful eyes will kill you in one shot and turn you to stone. Although you can get some stone from mining your petrified corpse if you want. The best way to fight a Gorgon is by using the blindfold we crafted while dealing with the Cockatrice. Remember that you can craft a blindfold with 2 string and a leather. If you manage to beat a Gorgon in combat, you will decapitate it and get a Gorgon head. You can use the Gorgon head to turn any enemy to stone, except for deathworms and cockatrices. Deathworms are unaffected because they don't have eyes, and cockatrices are unaffected because of their nightmare stare. Be careful though, there is no cure for petrification, so don't use it on your friends. The Hydra. Similar to the mythological creature, the Hydra is a giant snake-like monster that will attack anything. Hydras spawn in Hydra lairs in swamp biomes. The Hydras are difficult mobs to fight as any head they lose will be replaced by more heads. While fighting, Hydras will shoot jets of venom at you. The more you damage it, the more heads it will lose, and the more heads it will regenerate, and the more heads you will damage, and the more heads it will lose, and the more heads it will regenerate until you're stuck fighting a 9-headed machine gun of venom. Good news for pyromaniacs though, the best approach to fight a Hydra is actually to light it on fire. The fire will consistently harm the Hydra, so it will keep losing heads and eventually it will die. When you defeat a Hydra, they will drop Hydra fangs, rotten flesh, a Hydra heart, and a Hydra skull. This skull is number 7 of 9 skulls you can collect. With Hydra fangs, you will be able to craft Hydra arrows, crafted with a Hydra fang, a stick, and a lily pad. The best thing you could get though is the Hydra heart. This is an incredibly useful item that when you have in your hotbar, it gives you increasing regeneration based on how injured you are. The lower your health, the greater regeneration you'll gain. Then we have the Cyclops, a massive humanoid creature with a single horn sprouting from its head and a single giant eye. Cyclops spawn near Cyclops coves, in bitch biomes of course. Once a Cyclops targets you, it will rush towards you while screaming and try to squish you. It might also kick you, and on rare occasions it will pick you up and bite your head off. The Cyclops are actually really good sheep herders, and sheep will actually flock towards them for protection. Something to consider is that they are deathly afraid of water, so any rivers or lakes nearby are a good way to escape a rampaging Cyclops. There are two ways to deal with a Cyclops: sneak by them with a disguise or attacking their one good eye. If you want to sneak past them, you can craft a sheep disguise armor by surrounding leather armor with wool, and, well, sneaking. The Cyclops will confuse you with a sheep and ignore you while you pass by. Don't attack any sheep though, that will give away your wolf in sheep's clothing bit. On the other hand, if you want to kill them, your best course of action is actually to blind them. If you shoot arrows at their eye, they will scream in pain and their vision will be severely affected, allowing you to deal the final blow. Once you kill the Cyclops, it will draw raw mutton, leather, wool, an eye of Cyclops, and a Cyclops skull. The skull is number 8 of 9 skulls you can collect, almost there. The Eye of Cyclops is a legendary item that is extremely useful against melee damage. If you have the Eye of Cyclops in either hand, it will give a weakness 2 debuff to any nearby hostile mobs. This debuff doesn't apply to any long range attacks though, so any skeleton arrows, creeper's explosions, dragon breaths, or Cockatrice's nightmare stares will be unaffected. So don't run straight into a dragon fight thinking it will disable the dragon's ability to maul you to death. Speaking of dragons, they are the main focus of the Ice and Fire mod. Dragons are massive bipedal reptiles that have massive leathery wings, as well as the ability to breathe a special element, and it's probably the creature that you have been waiting to hear about. A dragon has 5 stages while growing up, with stage 1 dragons being the weakest and most vulnerable of course, because they are a baby, and stage 5 dragons being the largest and most powerful. The higher a dragon's stage, the more loot it will yield upon defeat. Killing a stage 4 plus female dragon and looting it with right click is also the way to obtain dragon eggs, which can then be hatched into your own baby dragons. So let's see the types of dragons you will encounter in this mod, how to tame them, and other information you might need. Let's start with the fire dragon. Feared all through the land, the fierce fire dragons are a catastrophe for any village that happens to be on its path. Fire dragons come in 4 colors: red, emerald, bronze, and grey. If you're going to attempt to slay a fire dragon, you will first need to know where to find them. Smaller fire dragons can be found in small roosts in the surface. But if you wish to slay the mightiest of fire dragons, then you will need to look for them deep underground in their dragon lairs. Fire dragons have multiple different attacks that you will need to avoid if you don't wish to die. Their roar is the first attack you need to look out for. This roar can weaken you with just the sheer force of the sound, and the bigger the dragon, the more powerful the roar, and the more damage to your eardrums. To avoid the effect of this attack, you can use earplugs, just like with the sirens. After that, it can bite you, which, obviously hurts, but if you're not careful, they can also completely grab you with their teeth and shake you until it snaps your neck, so try to avoid that. It will sometimes attempt to hit you with its tail, and it will launch you away from them. You will also need to be wary of their giant wings, which can be used to produce gusts of wind that are sometimes as strong as a hurricane. Finally, there is their pyrokinesis, or control of fire, the most deadly weapon in a fire dragon's arsenal. Their fire breath is powerful enough, being able to scorch and ignite large areas of land in a heartbeat, but they also have learned to channel their fire breath into a single concentrated fire bomb that they shoot at their target, leaving a scorching fire crater. Before going against the fire dragon, make sure to stack up on both fire resistant potions and golden apples, because you are going to be swimming in fire faster than you can imagine. Obviously, good gear is a must since they are really powerful, and a bow with good stats is also a good item to bring. The Ice Dragons. Then we have the Ice Dragons. Majestic is the best word to describe these dragons. They are beautiful as they are mighty. And even though many consider them to be the weakest of the dragon types, you must remember that they are still dragons, and they can easily freeze you completely in a second. Ice dragons come in 4 colors: icy blue, gem blue, silver white, and snowy white. Smaller ice dragons can be found in small roosts in the surface, but if you wish to slay the mightiest of ice dragons, then you will need to look for them deep underground, in their dragon lairs, just as the fire dragons. Similar to fire dragons, ice dragons also have their roar, bite, wing, and tail attacks, which are all powerful enough in their own right, but ice dragons also have amazing control of low temperatures, making it impossible for anything to grow in the land after their attacks. as they only leave a frozen wasteland behind. Their main attack is the Ice Breath, which freezes blocks and entities in an instant. This attack will also create ice spikes that will damage anything that steps on them. And they also acquire the ability to concentrate their ice power into a single ice bomb that leaves a snow-covered crater full of ice spikes after exploding. Before going against an ice dragon, make sure to stack up on potions of swiftness and golden apples for the regeneration, because the frostbite you're gonna get is gonna be felt by your grandchildren. Finally, we have the lightning dragon, the most powerful and mysterious of the 3 dragon types, also the newest one. The lightning dragon is a force of nature. Even though they might not breathe fire like a fire dragon or create ice spikes like an ice dragon, their breath is more than enough to decimate an entire army in a flash. Lightning dragons come in 4 colors: amethyst purple, dark black, copper brown, and electric blue. Smaller lightning dragons can be found in small roosts in the surface, but if you wish to slay the mightiest of lightning dragons, then you will need to look for them deep underground in their dragon lairs, just as with the other 2. It's the same thing. Like fire dragons and ice dragons, the lightning dragons have the roar, bite, wing, and tail attacks that can kill almost anything. However, their specialty is their mastery of electricity. Side note, do you know what happens to a player that is struck by lightning? That's where their devastating lightning breath comes into play. This attack will cause massive damage and will also electrify blocks in the area. Like the other dragons, the lightning dragon can also concentrate their elemental power into a powerful lightning bomb that creates an electrified crater on impact. In order to fight these dragons, you must be absolutely prepared for anything. Get the most powerful enchanted armor you can get multiple gapples, and make sure to avoid their lightning breath as much as you can, because it will kill you before you can even hear the thunder boom. Once you slay a dragon, instead of evaporating like normal Minecraft mobs, a dragon will fall to the ground as a corpse. To loot the dragon corpse, right-click on it repeatedly with an empty hand. Items will drop off it until it turns into a skeleton and finally disappear altogether. To obtain dragon blood, right-click the corpse with an empty bottle. A dragon skull and dragon bones are always dropped. This skull is number 9 of the 9 skulls you can collect. Congratulations, you got them all. Dragon scales can be used to craft dragon scale armor and to create the dragon forge, which can make dragon steel. To craft the dragon scale armor, you put the scales in the same pattern as a normal armor, but they have to be the same type of scales. The color of the dragon scales you use will determine the color of the armor. In order to make the dragon forge, well, you will need to get some items before that. First things you're gonna wanna get is a bunch of dragon bones, because you're gonna need that to make dragon blown blocks, like this one. Then you're gonna need some dragon forge bricks. In order to make them, you need some scales. Dragon scales in this, and you'll make some dragon scale blocks, and then you put the dragon scale blocks with stone bricks in this, and you'll get dragon forge bricks. With the Dragon Forge bricks, you'll be able to make the Dragon Forge Fire Aperture and the Dragon Forge Fire Core. Both of them are necessary to create the Dragon Forge. For the Aperture, you just need 4 Dragon Forge bricks and 4 iron ingots. And for the Dragon Forge Core, you will need a Dragon Heart. As you can see, it depends on the type of dragon that you're gonna get the materials from, what type of Dragon Forge you're gonna make, and in turn, what type of Dragon Steel you're gonna make. As you can see, we got Fire, Ice, and lightning. So let's start with the fire one, shall we? To make a complete dragon forge, you're gonna need 8 dragon bones blocks, 1 dragon fire core, 17 dragon forge fire bricks, and 1 dragon forge fire aperture. This is a simple 3x3 structure, so we put some dragon bone blocks like this. We complete it with some dragon forge bricks, put the core in the middle, obviously. Put the fire aperture, like, kind of like going outside. And finally, we just put a lot of Dragon Forge bricks. And 1, 2, 3, 4 for the dragon bones. And top it off with Dragon Forge bricks. And with that, you'll have your own Dragon Forge completed. I'm gonna make the other 2. And here we go, we got the Fire Dragon Forge, the Ice Dragon Forge, and the Lightning Dragon Forge. Once you have your Dragon Forge ready, then you just need to put the type of dragon blood, specifically for the type of dragon forge, for example, dragon forge fire, dragon blood fire, and a bunch of iron ingot. Depending on the type of dragon forge and dragon steel you want to make, you'll need the different types of dragons that there are. That said, it's not that easy to control a dragon, which is why you will need to make a dragon staff. Like this, boom boom, with a dragon skull. Easy peasy, pineapple squeezy. And with that you got a command staff. This will allow you to make your dragon sit and follow you and wander, or just, you know, stay in a certain area that you want. So now let's try to make some fire dragon steel, shall we? For that, I will need my fire dragon. Let's see if I don't destroy everything while landing. It should be with X. Chill out, brother. Ah, there we go. In order for the dragon to start spewing the element into the dragon forge, then you need to put it in front of the little hole on the side. The dragon forge input or aperture. And this should start making some... Yeah, baby! We got some fire dragon steel here. Let's put the other dragons working too. There we go. So lightning dragons also only get activated during thunderstorms or night, I believe. Yeah, so lightning dragons will only work while it's raining, and the other two will go to sleep. He'll sleep and the other two will start working. And that's how you do the dragon forge. And you'll get some ice dragon steel here, some fire dragon steel, and some lightning dragon steel, depending on which one you want. And there you go! Easy peasy. Also, it is recommended that you build your dragon forge away from your base, or at least away from anything important, as everything around will be set on fire or frozen depending on the type of dragon. Now, the most important loot a dragon corpse can produce are dragon eggs, which can only drop from a female stage 4 or 5 dragon. When a dragon is hatched, it will take time to grow. Each stage of growth takes a total of 25 Minecraft days, with the maximum growth being around 125 days. A dragon's growth can be sped up by using dragon's meal, crafted with bones and any type of meat except fish. During the first stages of the dragon, you can actually put them on your shoulders, which is really cute. Once it reaches stage 3, however, it can be ridden, which will allow the player to use the dragon breath attacks and bite attacks. In addition, you can also fly with them. As a dragon grows, its attacks will deal more damage. And, well, they will also grow a lot. So, if you want to stunt the growth of your dragon, you can use sickly dragon meal, crafted with a dragon meal, 4 spider eyes and 4 poisonous potatoes, just in case you want to keep them at certain size. Once your dragon has been tamed, you can also add some dragon armor to its defense. There are 8 types of dragon armor: copper, iron, gold, silver, ice dragon steel, fire dragon steel, and lightning dragon steel. And I forgot to mention that we also, of course, have diamond. To craft the dragon armor, you will need to place blocks of the material you want to make the armor out of in a specific pattern. This one. Dragon steel is the best material you can get. With dragon steel you can craft dragon steel armor, craft it like any normal armor. Dragon steel swords, crafted like a normal sword, but change the stick for a wither bone. And depending on the dragon steel you use to make your sword, you will have different effects: fire aspect, freezing, or lightning strike. You can also make dragon steel tools, which are tools made of fire, ice, or lightning dragon steel ingots. Their crafting format is that of regular Minecraft tools, only replacing sticks with wither bones. And that's it for all the creatures. Now, there's more to this mod, of course, that I didn't cover, but I think this is a good starting point for you to get into it. Currently, there are plans to add wendigos, vampires, werewolves, automatons, goblins, unicorns, krakens, the Ifrit spirit, and a boss called the Dread Queen. This is honestly an incredible mod, and a lot of love, care, and passion was put into it, and it's honestly awesome. I know you guys have been wanting me to check out this mod for a while, and I'm glad I was finally able to showcase it. Also, side note, kind of like a little ideas up in the air. I'd love to see intelligent species added, like more of them, like elves, dwarves, maybe cities you can explore, and I hope that you can add both vampirism and lycanthropy to the future creatures, because I really want to be infected with either vampirism or lycanthropy, because that would be awesome. If you have any suggestions for the mod or wish to support the creators, which you should, and watch it get developed, make sure to join their Discord and give them all the love. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling me what your favorite creature is of this mod. And I guess that's all for me. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!